Roberto gets to be the hero for once. How happy are you about that? Roberto got to.
Well,
I know you'd rather win one going away, but he gets to be the hero.
Well, you know, it's not about being a hero. I'm pretty sure Roberto will say that too. It's about getting that win. And, you know, and we got the best kicker in the country, so I mean that's expected out of Roberto. You know.
How comforting is that at the end of the game once you get it inside 30 knowing Roberto's there?
Well, once you get inside the 45, we know that Roberto is good for it. I mean, he's tremendous. You know, he deserved that.
When the interception happened on the field, you looked like you were kind of upset on the field. Was it because it should have been called as clears, or was it just because of the interception?
Well, you know, it's a lot of things that happen with that play. You know, I did get upset, but you know, you got to move on. You know, you can't focus on the past.
Jameis shot. Looks like it was really when the locker room goes back and stands on the guards and sets off thirds. What is that? How much of a comfort point is that guy?
Shot is just an outstanding player. You know, and I'm blessed to have him as one of our wide receivers. And this whole program is blessed to have him in it. And I mean, he got the heart of the line, you know, and he's gonna keep producing, he's gonna keep performing, and just keep moving on up in the record books.
James, just having a game like this where you have to have a little bit of adversity and struggle, can that be just as good an emotional lift going into the Florida game as it would blowing somebody out?
Well, the majority of the games we done played this year have been like this game, so this ain't nothing new, you know, but obviously it's going to be a different atmosphere for the Gators, which, you know, they coming off, they beat Georgia, so, you know, they feel like they can beat anybody, and we're going to be ready, we're going to be prepared.
Okay, just from an offensive perspective, how difficult is it when you're watching the other team control the football? You get very limited chances out of it. There's a little more pressure on you guys.
Well, you know, not really pressure, but, you know, we got to make things happen when we get like those possessions. Like we don't get that many possessions. If you think about it, you know, we beat ourselves. You know, it's not that. I mean, they played outstanding on defense, but every time we had a big play, it was either a penalty or some type of mistake that just moved us on. When you have very little possessions, you have to execute.
The high snaps, is it due to just unseen, or was it due to the win?
It's no excuse. I should have called both of them, really. And, you know, Cam, this is the second game at center, you know, so obviously we're making some adjustments. And, yeah, he's facing a lot of adversity. The second game at center, and the ball is wet, the grass is wet, you know, but eventually he got the job done, you know. Like I say, we can't live in the past. I should have called both of them. You know, obviously my ankle, so I probably would have had a high vert, you know, to get him. So we're going to start executing.
James, what's it like on the sideline? I think also starts their last position. Drain that and off the clock. You get antsy on the sideline, or what's going to be your mind at that?
Well, we got confident, you know, so I told them get ready to score. You know, obviously we know we got the best field goal kicker in the country, and we knew our defense was going to somehow get a stop. But we looking trying to score. You know, like I said, we done been in that situation a lot this year, so it's no sweat, no worries. You know, we just going out there and try to win a football game.
What did you see on the first play? I think it was the first play where Carlos reverse field and you made a block there.
Well, the will to win, you know, and like I said, we trying to win a football game. Ain't nothing going on through our mind. We're not thinking about if we mess up. We thinking about how we going to win the football game. And everybody, one thing about this team, everybody does their individual responsibility to help us win. Like we said with Roberto. Roberto, if you think about it, if Roberto gonna kick every extra point, we still might lose. You know, so he's part of being the hero every single time. You know.
James, is your ankle bothering you more when you're stepping in and throwing, or when you're running?
It probably was bothering me more today because of the turf. You know, it was wet out there. Yeah, so it was soft. So, but my ankle's fine. It's getting better. I'm doing my treatment. You know, and hopefully by next week I won't even have to take it up that much.
So do you feel when you're running more or stepping into it?
Both.
It seemed like you re-injured it during the game a little bit. How much did you favor it towards the end of the game?
You know, it's the only reason I was looking like that because like it was raining, you know, and they had very long drives, you know, and when you get cold like that, you know, you gotta get yourself back up. So this was probably the worst game to have a sprained ankle, you know.
Talk about the rain. How much harder did that make everything? On the ball, you talked about the exchange a little bit, but the rain, how did that affect everything?
Well, you know, it's kind of in your mind, you know, especially with the guys on the wide receivers seeing the ball in, holding on to the football. I think we only turned the ball over one time this game, and we did a real good job of protecting the football. Oh, he was just holding it because he said we had a substitution, and it actually was a fast tempo play, so I was trying to get up under there and let it ride.
James, what are your thoughts for next week? Rivalry game in Florida, going to be their last game pretty much.
Like I say, it's our last home game of the regular season. So, and then it's against the Gators, and I don't know much about the rivalry, but I played in one and we won. So I know the guys around here from Florida are going to be banging their heads against the wall because we have to win this game. So I look forward to it, and hopefully we can get a win.
You know the national narrative. You guys seem to get downgraded every time you win a game. You guys seem to get downgraded every time you win a game close. When you think much about that, and then now when it's over?
Well, we were downgraded every time we blew somebody out last year. So think of the irony of that. If we win the game close, we're bad, and when we blow somebody out, we're bad. The thing is, we're a team, we're a family at Florida State, and what everyone else thinks about us, it's none of our business. As long as we love each other, as long as we trust in each other, as long as we believe in each other and keep winning football games, I think we're still going to do what we got to do.
Dalvin had some really big runs for you down the stretch. Dalvin had big runs the second string for you in the last drive. Just talk about what
Well, all of our backs are tremendous, but for Dalvin to be young and do the things that he does is very impressive. And he's definitely one of the most electrifying backs in the country. I think if we had him the ball off 30 times, he would have numbers like all the rest of the running backs. But he's a great asset to our team.
Jameis, you got